that this mic is working. I'm looking at my scarf situation here. So, today I have a gig, and I was thinking about how I guess my channel is going to be moving forward, and I am going to go live on my other channel. So, the last time I gigged, and I accidentally went live on this channel, but I got a big response. So, I don't know if I'm going to gig on this channel today or not. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll try something. So, I have a second camera. Maybe I'll do both cameras. I don't know. We'll see. But I wonder, some people always ask, what is it like being a street performer? And I mean, there's a lot to consider being a street performer versus, like, a lot of times you see things happening on the internet, right? Uh, People get to set up their their background and do many takes and edit and all this other stuff, and it takes it's a different kind of skill being a street performer. um like right now I'm preparing, like ideally I would have started preparing last night, but rainstorm came through and I got a little distracted with that. But part of it is it's a mental game for me. Always, even since I've been a singer-songwriter and doing shows and playing on stage, things like that, it has always been first in the mind, the mental game. Okay, I do a lot of visualization. I kind of prepare like an athlete prepares, and I feel like everybody should prepare in life like that. Um, Athletes get performance coaches, they get this ability to maximize what they're already doing. And yes, there are performers that also have coaches, and now more people, since I guess 2020, are into or know about the idea of coaching. But I mean, when I was giving coaching before 2020 and music lessons and things like that, I would also give the coaching. So a lot of times people ask me questions like, "Or aren't you nervous being in front of people and things like that?" It's like, I think I worked really hard on managing that. So it's not like I don't. Oh, I speak English. Are you understanding me? I speak English. So um, I don't understand what's happening here. So I'm a street performer, so I'm not going to be responding to whatever is happening below me. Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, so as a street performer, you have to be good, and you have to think on your feet a lot. A lot, a lot. You got to be thinking like 360. Yes, indeed. And so when you are thinking on your feet, you got to be thinking like a chess player. So if you have never played chess before, most people are thinking 2, 3, 4 moves ahead, and they're not in everyday life. But most people, especially I will say street performers, they do have like maybe different things to be thinking about, you know. Um, Safety, definitely. Safety, we worry about safety and making sure your equipment is working, making sure your body is doing what it needs to be doing. And it's very, it's always so like, yeah, you really do have to be thinking ahead. And you prepare, you practice, And then the day of a show or performance, you're just out here getting ready to, getting ready to put on a good show. And I think most times people have a idea of, well, what do I do if I make a mistake? It's like, well, what if you don't? Think the other way rather than think about all the things that could go wrong. And that's why I started a spiritual channel, because there's so many people who think of all the things that could go wrong instead of visualizing like an athlete what could go right. What do you want to happen? What do you need to have this happen? And I think about a lot of, and I've been in a lot of situations where I've been on a stage where nobody should be talking to me, and I've been in these situations as a street performer where I'm playing a song and people are literally talking to me while I'm performing, which, is fine. But for some reason, they think that I can respond. I try my best. I guess the last time I performed, there was when people tip me, I do try to acknowledge that. That's one of the things, always express gratitude. Okay? You should always, in life in general. That's why, again, I'm mentioning this on my spiritual channel. No matter what you do in life, always express gratitude. Okay? The fact that you have equipment to be able to perform with, the fact that you may have had an opportunity to be in front of other people performing your work, right? And when I'm giving guidance to young or even older people, you'd be surprised. It's actually the older people who I coach that tends to have the biggest issues, because they've come with so much background, like people just putting them down, people insulting them, or they insult themselves or their own worst enemy, And even in the comments right now, somebody, I guess it was a child, trying to insult me. And I'm just like, you don't know me. Oh, hi. I do know this person. But for the most part, you gotta be brave. Being a street performer, you gotta be brave in a lot of different ways. You gotta let comments roll off your back and just keeping it, going. Knowing that you have a mission, knowing that you have something that you want to share with the world. That's what's most important. Most times when people are insulting you, like I said, like in the comments just now, they're jealous. It's like they're looking for somebody to react to them instead of the response that I actually gave them. No, it was not you, sir. It looked like a child came on and just started being random. Now, there may be children watching now, which, again, I don't mind. I don't mind. Oh, thank you. And as I said, I'm mentally preparing right now for a performance, which is in about a few hours. I have to plan out my packing, getting dressed, driving to the location, unloading, all of this stuff. Like, there's a lot when it comes to being a performer, and you're doing it solo or you're doing it DIY, it means do it yourself. And I kind of prefer it that way in a lot of ways, because that way it helps me pivot easily. It helps me be able to be flexible. Yeah, so it really does. Your harp. You know what? I have a friend who is a harpist. She doesn't perform in public anymore as much. Like, she also plays piano too, but I think, yeah, it's good work if you can get it, you know. Well, yeah, I mean, you got to have tough skin, as in knowing that people come with their own issues before they even approach you. When people come to insult you or people come to, like, gain something from you, That's usually the case, unfortunately. Oh no, you should show me sometime. I have been watching your videos again, since you've come pop back on building stuff. I've been doing things around the house myself, but yeah, I'm trying to take it easy on my body because yeah, that's a part of it. It's like I've had, I don't want to say more injuries. I can give you a story time before I'm gonna go ahead and go. Yeah, I don't, it doesn't matter either way, the negative comments or not. It's like people are jealous when they do that. It's like you, and again, it's either I would be more impressed if they were actually typing it out, these negative comments versus speech to text, because they probably, you know, we can go into that. But um or I mean, people are very bold when I don't see who they really are, or maybe I can find them because I'm also a super sleuth. um yeah. So when I had a showcase, and I can talk about that another time, I had an official showcase at South by Southwest. Those who know, and that was in 2011. Um, I also picked up other gigs, and that's kind of the practice too. Like, so when you get to Austin and everybody's like super psyched and all this stuff, you try to pop up in a lot of locations during the week, and you try to get seen by a lot of people, right? So I had another gig right before my showcase. It was like a day or two before the showcase, and I was unloading, and I had this dress on. It was a sundress. It was cute and everything, but it had this unfortunate feature for which I've learned since to always wear a pair of pants or shorts underneath dresses, and or um, basically just wear, I call them gig pants. And I had a pair. It's like basically like sweatpants or something, like something to wear that when you are unloading, you can be maneuvering easily in. So anyway, as I am unloading and getting ready to set up for this other gig, I'm moving fast, and that's another thing that happens sometimes. Oh, it was a malfunction because of the dress. And I usually have like flowing skirts. This one was more of a straight up and down. And because of that, I couldn't take long strides, like take big steps. And I had my amp. Luckily, it was not my guitar. So I was carrying my amp, and I was trying to cross the street. And you know how some streets have a sidewalk with a big like curve, and where the drain, like, when it has the drainage. So I was stepping off, and I had already done it a couple of times because, like I said, I was unloading. So I step off the curve onto the street. Ooh, I did pass the drop test. Funny you say that. So yeah, it was high street, high, and then low, high sidewalk, low street. So the step was bigger than I was anticipating. So I try to do a big step. My dress would not let me. I tumbled into the street with my amp. Okay? So my amp, like most people don't realize, amplifiers, they can either be really heavy depending your model. My amp is probably about 10 pounds, 10 to 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. I don't know. But it's heavy enough but light enough. So I was holding it. I take the big step. I tumble into the street. Of course, I dropped the amp. But I also learned how to fall from being a dancer, too. So stage combat kicked in. It was almost like reflex. I totally did like a MacGyver kind of rolling into the street because I have fallen before. This is not my first rodeo, literally. But I tumbled into the street, was like, oh no. It's that, you get that cartoon feeling. It's like, oh no, I'm about to, oh. So I take that step, I tumble into the street, and I'm like slow motion, like, oh no. It's like, let go of the amp, tuck and roll, rolling into the street. I think I scraped my hand. I think my knee. I have pictures of this. I mean, I should probably, you know, if I redo this video somehow, have pictures of what happened. Because, yeah, I tumbled and rolled into the street. And luckily, my friends, my newly made friends, like I had made them online, and my my partner at the time, who was also helping me unload, they were already like coming back, and they saw me rolling in the street. Luckily, there was no cars, and this is Austin, Texas. So if you know Austin, Texas, during South by Southwest, luckily they close off a lot of streets, so there's that. So I was like rolling in the street, and they were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I was like, I was too like I said, you have to learn to think ahead. I was too like already like, get up, get up, and because I don't know if cars are coming. Part of the street was cut off, but not all of it. But yeah, thus me being able to park my vehicle. But yeah, I tumbled into the street. Luckily, we still had a few more hours before I performed, so I had to nurse my wounds. Luckily, it was not the other guitar hand. This is the strumming hand, by the way. So the other hand that I actually need, luckily it did not get hurt. I scraped my leg a little bit. I think maybe my knee as well. Luckily, I was still cute because of the dress. But I learned from that. That's a lesson to be learned. Always make sure you can move easily while you're unpacking your things. Oh, the Panhandle in Texas. Yeah, I've been to Austin. Austin, I've been twice. One for my South by Southwest performance, and then I went on tour with my other friend a few years later. She went to Austin. I don't think it was during. No, it was kind of close around. See, this is what happens in musician world. There's a season, and it might pick back up. All geared around Austin's South by Southwest. And that usually happens in March usually. And now that it's grown, it's like a month long. But the music portion of it is about a week. Oh. Yeah, I know I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, so there's a whole culture around South by Southwest in March. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying any, I don't know, whatever. Future is the future. But as I see my cat calling me or hear him calling me, let me, end this now. So, yeah, so I was able to, recover, get my wounds nursed, get cute again-ish. Like I said, there's pictures. I'll probably pull them up. Who knows? And add them in later. Who knows? I don't know. YouTube is very interesting nowadays. So yes, so I have, I like to be dressed and ready and packed at least an hour before performance, because you still have to get, like, I don't have too far to go today, and I planned it that way. And now my cat hears me talking. He really wants my attention now. So what's it like being a street performer? You always got to be ready. Always stay ready. With that, I guess if there are any more comments, I'll check again this video as it's going live. Look, I told you. So let me finish getting ready, makeup wise and equipment wise, and I do it in an order too. So I put my equipment before I put on my makeup and stuff, only because, All right, so let me go load my vehicle and make sure I have nourishment. Also, I also bring a fan, like an electric fan, because luckily I can plug in. And yeah, we'll be good. All right, so maybe you will see me over here, but I would love for y'all to check out my music channel, which is Nerd Queen. I'll put it here, and then, yeah, it's my boy. He's like, you're talking too much. All right, and with that I say, take care. Watch my other videos, like and subscribe, all the things. Bye.